Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and we have another Tidal Twister construction update coming to you from SeaWorld San Diego, and this is thanks to an anonymous viewer, so big thanks to them. But you can see that there is some new trim up on the amphitheater right here. The Bayside Amphitheater, I believe, is the name of that. So that's kind of cool to see, as well as that purple paint. And speaking of new paint, you can see this great new paint job on what will soon be a touch pool, as well as, I think that's the actual aquarium building that is back there. And I have yet to be in there, so we'll just have to wait and see when that opens with the ride itself, which is May 24th, by the way. And here you can see these new shade coverings have become yellow. So they used to be a weird beige color, but now they're a bright yellow, a very bright yellow. And I think it works with the area and its bright colors a little better than the beige originally. Now moving on, you can see more of that paint job, which I think looks amazing for the aquarium itself. And I can't wait to see it up closer once the walls are all down and we can finally walk around that area. Hopefully that comes up in the next couple weeks. But here is Tidal Twister testing. It has been testing pretty regularly ever since we saw that first test run about 2 weeks ago now. So expect, if you go to the park between now and May 24th, to see this thing testing at least a couple times during the day. So that's pretty cool to see. It does go quite quickly in this testing footage, and these cycles themselves are about a minute to a minute and a half long, and it looks like you get some insane hang time through that 0G roll for sure. And honestly, it looks like it's moving a little quicker than the last time we saw it with its first test runs, so that is some pretty promising news in all honesty, to see that we might be going a little quicker than even before. That's pretty cool to think that we might get even more airtime up top, if we get airtime, of course, which we don't know, but I think if you're in the right seat, you might get a good pop of airtime. And I think this is going to be more of a hang time ride regardless, especially with that roll. I think you're going to get an insane amount of hang time. And we'll just have to wait and see about the airtime. But of course, we won't be able to ride it until around pass holder preview time. So there's not technically a pass holder preview from an email that SeaWorld sent out, but there is going to be an event for pass holders, I believe, that we will be able to ride this before opening day. So kind of like a weird soft opening just for pass holders. So I'm excited to check that out if I can't get into Media Day. Also, I have a question for you. Would you like me to try and get to Media Day for this thing? I would love to hear your opinions on it. I'll put a poll in the top right corner. But let me know, should I go to Media Day, or at least attempt to get into Media Day? But here's another shot of it testing kind of from the side, and you can see one half of the station platforms and how it kind of turns through there. So it definitely looks like it gets a little more laterals than I was expecting, but it's very, very tight in its turn. So I'm wondering, at top speed, will we be getting some good positives too with those turnarounds? I think that would be kind of cool to see that difference between hang time to positives, or positives to airtime, or, you know, just switching back and forth quite quickly. It might make the ride a little more intense, of course, but I think I'm one for intensity nowadays. So I think that would be very cool to see another high thrill attraction like this at SeaWorld San Diego regardless. Now, I don't know what the next addition will be besides a redoing of the penguin encounter, and I think that's much needed. It hasn't been updated for almost 20 years, or maybe even 20 years as of now. So I think that'll be great. But then after that, it's an open book. We have no idea what could be coming next. Would it be another coaster, do you think? I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical on that. But here's a look through some of the branches, just looking at Tidal Twister testing again. I'm not sure how many test runs it did on this day, but I'm sure it did at least 3 or 4, considering we have about 3 or 4 different test cycles on film. So it's very cool to see it testing this much, and I know it is going to have to test, I believe, at least 1,000 times, but I'm not unsure on that number. I just know it has to be a lot that it will have to test. I know Hang Time had to go through at least 1,000 test cycles, like perfect test cycles, before it could even put passengers on. And of course, before I end this, I want to say thank you again to the anonymous viewer for sending these videos in of Tidal Twister and its construction. And I'm very excited to finally get on this thing in the next month. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have not. And of course, as always, we'll see you on the next ride.